Hey everybody, this is Ennis.
Hey, what's up? It's Jim.
So we're Inner Solutions, and today we want to make a video about morning anxiety. A lot of people ask us, why do I wake up feeling anxious? Why is it that first thing in the morning I get hit with this kind of pit in my stomach, this sense of nausea, and overall worry about the rest of the day? And it can be a really tough thing to wake up to, so hopefully this video will help you if you're going through that right now.
This is one of the most common symptoms I see in people where they wake up not wanting to get out of bed, and they feel this inner conflict of, if I don't get out of bed, then I might sulk or get caught in kind of just laying around or wasting the day away. So the morning anxiety, we're going to teach you how to work through it, what it is, why it happens so often, and some steps to move forward.
So first off, why is it happening? What's really causing this? Basically, when you wake up in the morning, the barrier between your subconscious mind and your conscious mind is very thin, right? You've been dreaming, you've been in a very open, vulnerable state where a lot of emotions are coming up as you're sleeping in the nighttime. So when you wake up in the morning, even though you may not remember your dreams, you were in fact dreaming. You were in fact having experiences, so to speak. And so when you wake up, even though you forget those dreams, the residual emotional residue is still there, okay? Those emotions that were kicked up while you were sleeping kind of greet you in the morning when you wake up. And a lot of the time, these are things that we may not have been thinking about the day before. We may not have been really aware that we're worried about, but nonetheless, these are issues that are coming to us at nighttime when our minds are more relaxed, more open, and the full capacity of our subconscious is starting to come up. So that's the first thing to remember is this is something that is totally normal. It's coming from your subconscious. It's not something that you are doing wrong or anything like that. It's just that a lot of these anxieties that you haven't dealt with yet are still there in your subconscious, and they're coming up in the morning to greet you.
And inversely, sometimes when people go to sleep, they feel like they get kind of a break, or they get outside of the trance of their day-to-day. And when you wake up, it almost can feel like a revisiting to, oh no, like I'm back, and this fear of anxiety comes back of what's going to happen today, or today's going to be a struggle, or anything like that. So well, what Ennis was saying is that, yeah, your subconscious kind of has free reign. So during the day when you're distracting yourself with TV or work, or you feel like you can shift your focus into something, that focus has free reign. And so the combination of these kind of underneath anxieties coming up and coming out and not having those distractions, along with sometimes dreaming or having a break from the anxiety, can leave you feeling like you don't want to start your day when you wake up, and then you have anxiety about the anxiety, and that makes it even worse.
So now, in terms of what to do about this, there's really two routes that we want to introduce to you. The first route is, how do you wake up without anxiety so that you actually wake up feeling calm? And the other route is, if you have already woken up and you do feel anxious, what do you do about it right there and then so that it doesn't carry into your day and you can end the anxiety right there? So the first route, in terms of actually waking up without anxiety, has to do a lot with your general lifestyle, your general day-to-day, and so we'll save that for the later half of this video. We want to give you right away something that you can use when you wake up with anxiety. What I do is actually I create a list of things that I can be grateful for, both in the past and in the present. Essentially what's happening is, when you're waking up with anxiety, you're waking up with the burden of worry and time from the past and the future. So you wake up with all sorts of thoughts about the past and the future that are inherently negative, kind of ruminating on things that went wrong in the past, judging yourself for things you may or may not have done, worrying about how tomorrow will happen or how the rest of today will happen. This is really the nature of your mind when you first wake up. So the way to end anxiety in the morning is to refocus as quickly as possible. Get your mindset on something that is actually generating a positive emotion, such as gratitude. The reason we mention gratitude is because it's something that we can all tap into. We have all experienced gratitude at some point. It's not an unfamiliar emotion. And it's very hard to be grateful and anxious at the same time. There's something about these two emotions that they cancel each other out, so to speak. So that's the first thing you want to do in the morning. If you have woken up with anxiety and you're already there, then do some sort of practice that can get you feeling grateful. Do you want to add on to that?
And think about anxiety, or gratitude is a practice. It's a muscle that you can exercise. So what you're really doing in real time is shifting your focus from the anxiety into things to look forward to, things to feel grateful for. And while you're shifting your focus, you're kind of teaching yourself to be grateful. So it is a practice, and it's something that will take repetition. But think of it as a muscle that you're exercising and trying to make stronger every morning.
It's really simple. You can look up gratitude practices. Tony Robbins has some really great stuff on this. But essentially what you're doing is you're remembering moments in your past and aspects of your current life that you just feel grateful for. You feel like, man, I'm really happy that that happened, or I'm really happy that this is my situation right now. And if you're having a hard time thinking of something, well, honestly, that's good news. That means you've got a lot of room to actually feel the full effects of this. If you're someone that's not normally paying attention to the good things in your life, and suddenly you start doing so, it can actually have a much bigger impact than the average person. So please do that whenever you feel anxious in the morning. As soon as you can, start to look at the things in your life to make you feel grateful. Look at the practices that you can do to induce gratitude. Now, in terms of the other side, how do you actually wake up without anxiety? How do you wake up feeling calm? Well, for that, you really have to shift your whole lifestyle. You have to make it to where when you're going to bed, you're going to bed feeling calm. When you're going to bed, you're going to bed feeling like everything is okay and you've dealt with the issues of the day, and that you're actually looking forward to the next day. This is a big difference between what most people do. What most people do is they go through the day stimulating themselves and distracting themselves with their phone, with food, with any kind of quick gratification, so that they don't have to feel the calm and the stillness in their life. That can be a really unsettling feeling when you're just all alone, there's nothing to do, and it's quiet, and you feel like, uh-oh, it's just me and my thoughts, here we go. That can be a really scary experience for some people, especially if you go through the whole day stimulating yourself, distracting yourself. And when you go to bed and you haven't had any quiet time, you haven't had any time for your thoughts to kind of come out and settle, then you're going to bed and dreaming about those things. You're going to bed and processing all those unprocessed emotions while you're sleeping. So when you wake up in the morning, you're actually waking up with the burden of yesterday. That's why before you go to bed, you want to settle all your burdens. This can be done with a number of ways. You can make a to-do list of all the things that you want to get done in the future so that it's not taking up space in your mind. You can meditate so that your thoughts and emotions settle before bed and have a chance to be kind of processed before you go to sleep. These are just a couple of ways that you can lift the burdens of the day so that you're going into the next day fresh and unburdened.
Yeah, the more you feel like you have a plan for the next day, and this goes for settling your burdens as well as having a plan for what to do the next day, so you minimize that kind of stewing or marinating time in those anxious thoughts or anything like that. The more of a plan you can have, the less likely you are to feel frozen or stuck in that state of bed. If you make it simple where your clothes are laid out when you wake up in the morning, then you know, I just need to get up and grab that pair of pants, and I just need to grab that shirt, and I just need to get out of the house and go for a walk. And then you're moving and you're already doing something physically to help reduce that anxiety.
Yeah, as Jim said, having that plan for the next day really helps, because a lot of people wake up and they get hit with that anxiety because they wake up and they immediately think about all that they have to do that day. And the full to-do list suddenly hits them. But if you can actually chunk it up to where you know, when I wake up, all I have to do is brush my teeth and get dressed and make some breakfast. And I've already got what I'm gonna wear. I already know what I'm gonna eat. And that first hour of the day it doesn't have to be that complicated. I don't have to think about the whole day. I only have to think about that first hour. That can really help in terms of not only waking up without anxiety, but if you do wake up with a little anxiety, as soon as you start getting into that morning routine, it kind of goes away.
Yeah, so these are all a lot of short-term solutions to deal with the morning anxiety, but there is no substitute for really diving in deeply and understanding yourself emotionally, understanding these anxieties, and really digging and mining out these subconscious anxieties that are having free reign while you're not distracted, and your subconscious can come. And that process is more like finding a great therapist or coach and really doing the deeper inner work. But these are some solutions to start to shift your focus and shift your ability to move, so you're not so frozen in anxiety and you're living a much more life full of movement and freedom, calm and peace.
So just to summarize what we've talked about, waking up with anxiety is very common. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It just means that there's a lot of unprocessed emotions and unprocessed thoughts that are bubbling up as you're going to sleep, and you're waking up with the full brunt of that. There's ways to make it to where as soon as you wake up, you go into a state of gratitude and thereby letting go of that anxiety, or by having a really solid plan of what you're going to do that day so that you're not overwhelmed with too much. And of course, going to bed in a way that's peaceful and calm and unburdened with meditation or other practices so that your mind is already clear as you're falling asleep. And of course, in the big picture, in the long term, you want to have a generally healthy emotional life by going to therapy, doing meditation, doing all sorts of things to take care of your psyche so that these unresolved patterns that you're waking up to are just not there anymore.
So thank you guys so much for checking this out. This is Ennis, I'm Jim, we're Inner Solutions. If you like what you heard, please click like, please comment below if you have any questions, we'll answer all of them. And just thank you so much for your time, and remember that no matter where you are with anxiety, no matter how bad it's been, no matter how intense it is or how long it's been going on, you are never stuck. You might just need some support. Thanks.